Tonight, we are NXT. Coming off the heels of an incredible Takeover Chicago, tonight NXT was once again live from the All-State Arena. And again, I know that these were pretty much taped before Takeover had actually started last Saturday, but at least we got to see Drew McIntyre, the development of Aleister Black, and a new NXT superstar showing up on the roster. And I'm going to go over it all tonight on my NXT recap. Of course, we kicked off NXT tonight with a bit of a recap from NXT TakeOver Chicago, showing up all the highlights from the event, which was once again a fantastic show. And of course, the first match of the night was Aleister Black, the former Tommy End, taking on Face the Facts, Kurt Hawkins. This match was what it needed to be. Like, it was an excellent showcase for Aleister Black in NXT. That dude is just such a fantastic striker. He knows what he's doing, and he's calm. Like, you can really tell that he's been doing this for such a long time. And I know that, and I heard that he's had a bit of a backstory for why he is who he is, and it's made him to being the great superstar that he is today. And it's funny is that during this match, they were playing it up like Kurt Hawkins was the rookie and Aleister Black was the veteran. So I found that dynamic interesting. But yeah, this match was what it needed to be. Excellent showcase for Aleister Black. We had a lot of series of moves. I am hearing rumors that they might bring up Aleister Black from NXT to the main roster sooner rather than later. I honestly hope that doesn't happen because NXT, I feel like, has just gotten like right back to where they once were, in my personal opinion, in terms of the main event status of stars on the roster. So honestly, in my opinion, just keep Aleister Black down there for as long as you can. Like, really salvage like what you have in NXT and just exploit it for future TakeOver events. And of course, following that match, we had a recap from the show once again with the DIY versus the AOP ladder match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And I'm not going to go over this. You guys already know my thoughts. I'm a tag team specialist. I fucking love that match. And I especially love the badass ending with Tommaso Ciampa turning heel. Now, as far as this is concerned, I am hearing rumors that Tommaso Ciampa is hurt right now, because he had injured his knee at an NXT live event from last Thursday, I think it was. And this story might get put on hold, but I'm completely fine with that because this is something that you can definitely stretch out. Like, I honestly see this feud being much better than Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I honestly really see that. And as far as Johnny Gargano, they haven't given an update to his status in NXT right now as far as, like, quote-unquote storyline injuries. So, like, they have refused to release anything. So I'm fine, and I'm really interested to see where this goes. But if Tommaso Ciampa is out and Gargano's back quick, they're going to really need to find something for him to do in NXT. A bit of more of a recap from NXT TakeOver Chicago when they talked about the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. The undefeated Empress Asuka taking on Ruby Riott, taking on Sandy's Nikki Cross. And what I found interesting about this is the fact that Ember Moon did an inset promo before the event actually got started. They did like a little sit-down interview with her, like talking about the injury, talking about how she's very sad that she's not going to be able to compete in the triple threat match. It was supposed to be a fatal four-way. Ember Moon needed this, in my opinion, because it's just like, I don't know what it is about Ember Moon, but it's like she has the mystique. She's got the wrestling down, but it's just like when she talks, it's not that believable to me. And maybe part of that's just because they built up Asuka being such a dominant champion, and maybe Ember Moon just really needs them. But this, I've thought by far, was the best that I had seen Ember Moon like really step out to be a real threat to Asuka. Now, the plan is right now to do Ember Moon versus Asuka at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which may or may not happen, but they really need to do more of a sit-down inset promos with Ember Moon just to really get her in that sense, because I want to believe that Ember Moon can beat Asuka. But what I found another interesting thing about this was on the pre-show, if you go back and watch, Ember Moon said that she did not care if either Ruby Riott or Sandy's Nikki Cross beat Asuka for the championship, but yet when she said the inset promo, she selfishly would like to have Asuka retain so she can do it. So a bit of, not a lot of continuity there, but I'm willing to let that slide. Alright, people. I honestly don't know how the hell I'm supposed to talk about this. Up next was the debut of the Valentine. I can't even say it. The Velveteen Dream, aka the former Patrick Clark from WWE Tough Enough, the one who should have won in my opinion, which I think he did, but that's around the point. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about this, but I will say this though. He had a unique entrance theme and a unique attire, but this actually isn't my first time seeing Patrick Clark, because while I was at WrestleMania with my fellow compadres Jay and Dalton, we actually got a chance to see Patrick Clark take on Tyler Breeze in the main event of that show, and for what I saw from him, that dude's definitely got his in-ring prowess right. It's just like, I just don't know what's to gain from this gimmick of the Velveteen Dream. And get this, that's actually his name, people. They're not even calling him Patrick Clark anymore. That's his name, Velveteen Dream. So check him out if you want to, but it's just like, I'm afraid I feel as if we're going to be back in an Adam Rose situation, because that's the vibe I got from him. But yeah, can't wait to see what Velveteen Dream has next, more for NXT, I guess. But yeah, this is going to be a crazy one. And again, continuing on with this channel, we have more of a recap from Takeover. They highlighted the phenomenal, awesome United Kingdom Championship match featuring Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And now it's going to be interesting to see what NXT is going to be doing with the UK Championship moving forward, because now that the UK show that is apparently going to be going on soon, I am interested to see, like, is the NXT brand going to be able to battle for the UK Championship, or is the UK Championship going to be separate from itself, so that way it'll just be like the UK show will be built on the show, but the championship match will happen at the Takeover, which I personally do think is a smart move, because that way you get everybody who watches the UK special, everybody who watches NXT, and you just roll up into one. Again, my only issue with the United Kingdom Championship was just the sheer fact of, like, was it part of NXT or is it going to be part of the UK? And they did explain that very well. And also, we got another recap featuring the NXT Championship match featuring the glorious one, Bobby Roode taking on Hideo Itami. And this, again, I'm not going to do a lot of the recap, but it's just like, it's going to be interesting to see like what they're going to be doing with Bobby Roode next, because honestly, the challengers that I'm thinking of for Roode when we get to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 is either Roderick Strong or Drew McIntyre. I personally think Roderick Strong, but that's definitely another topic for another day. And we also found out tonight that be sure to tune in for NXT next week, because the glorious one, Bobby Roode, makes his return to Full Sail. I can't wait to see what the state of the NXT Championship is going to be and what's next for Bobby Roode. Alright people, as we are getting close to our near end, let's go ahead and talk about the main event, shall we? Tonight's main event from NXT was Drew McIntyre taking on a returning Wesley Blake. Now, Wesley Blake, of course, a former NXT Tag Team Champion. That should not even happened. But yeah, this match was actually a little fun. Like, not a little fun. It was actually a fun match. Like, it wasn't like one of those matches that was going to blow you out of the water. It was like those nice little 8 to 9 minute showcases that NXT does so well, because you have both people like get some offense in. The guy that you want to get over, which in this case is Drew McIntyre. Like in this match, like McIntyre hit like a nice looking modified spine buster on Blake, and for some reason he kicked out. And then another situation where I think it was like a reverse Alabama slam, and then Blake kicked out of that. And like there was actually some good stuff in this match. But yeah, nice hard hitting. Not really anything to write home about, but yeah, a nice, fun match, which is all I asked for in wrestling. So yeah, overall thoughts on NXT tonight, guys. Again, not everything or not anything to write home about, I should say, because again, it was a recap episode, which is fine for NXT because they gotta let the people know. And honestly, it's really easier to digest with recaps if it's just 1 hour with a little bit of action. Can't wait to see what they're gonna be doing more with the Velveteen Dream. We got a little bit of in-ring action with Aleister Black. Can't wait to see what he does next in the main event scene. And Drew McIntyre got a little bit of a showcase match, so they did accomplish some things right there. But yep, that is it from my end. That was my weekly NXT recap. I will see you back here next week on PWFEmpire.com. I'm DJ Cass, and I will see you around. Later days.